Hi everybody, my name is Rich Chen and I've lived in this home for just over 10 years. I moved to this part of North Oakland from San Francisco with my wife and two daughters when my oldest daughter was about to enter kindergarten, and we were really drawn to this area for proximity to Peralta Elementary School, where both of my girls have attended school over the last 11 years. And also, we love the neighborhood for its walkability, close to shopping, and to transit. So I'd like to share some of the things that we've been doing to our home over this time to get off of fossil fuels and to save energy and reduce emissions.
When we bought this home, which was built in 1912, it had very old heating and water heating systems. The old furnace, which was probably well over 40 years old, basically shook the house when it came on, blowing air and kicking up dust every which way. I suffer from very bad allergies to pollen and dust, so all of this tended to exacerbate them. Then, during the Northern California wildfires of 2018, like many others, we started to get very concerned with related air quality issues. Then that winter, I had had enough and decided to do something about it. It was important for me to try it and walk the talk, and it's been very informative to learn firsthand about what's really involved in trying to electrify an old home. What I found is that the experience of using electricity instead of gas has brought many quality of life benefits and peace of mind in terms of reducing our impact on climate and protecting the health of me and my family.
So we're starting outside by the electrical panel. I know this is not the most exciting or sexy or attractive part of a home tour, but it's really important as we think about getting off of natural gas in our homes and electrifying systems. I'll show you the projects that we did later, but our first project that we did was a heat pump for space conditioning back in 2018. And one of the first things that we had to address was, do we have enough electrical capacity? So working with a contractor, we upgraded our old panel, which was 100 amp service, to 200 amp service. Subsequently, when we did our kitchen, which I'll also show later, we had to run some wiring from this main panel to a sub panel just for the kitchen, all the new appliances that we got in. But nice to know that we have adequate service, everything's up to code, everything is safe. We took care of some knob and tube wiring in the attic during the same project, and just kind of investing in that basic core infrastructure of the home feels really good. So here's the backyard, and for the heat pump space conditioning, we had to figure out where to put the outdoor condenser unit. So this seemed like an optimal place for it. And then you can see here the refrigerant lines are run. The contractor did this nice sheet metal covering for it to protect it and kind of hide that stuff. That runs all the way to the front of the house, under the front level, the top level, to the crawl space. And we can go look at that stuff now. So now I'm going to show you some of the equipment for both of our heat pump systems that are in the crawl space. Okay, so this is the air handler unit for the space conditioning. The refrigerant lines, you can see from the outside, are running over here to a heat exchanger, which is then got, multi-speed fan that it's not blowing air at one speed all over the house. It's very gentle distribution. We redid the ducts down here that were accessible, made them all tight, insulated everything, and we have a MERV 13 filter here that we replace twice a year, and it really cuts down on the dust and other particulates that are brought in from the outside of the house, which really has helped my allergies a lot. In 2020, our old existing gas water heater literally died on us, and we had to go into emergency replacement mode and kind of waited it out a little bit so that I could get this heat pump water heater installed. It's a 50-gallon ream model that has 4 modes on it: heat pump mode, what they call energy saver mode, which is a hybrid, which kicks in an electric resistant element if there's very high demand and low supply. There's electric only, which is definitely the least efficient model and not using the heat pump technology. And then there's a vacation mode. If you're going away, you can just reduce your energy use while you're away. It's got a great control panel, which I can control from my phone. It's also got a mixing valve. We keep the water at 130 or 140 degrees temperature inside the tank. And then when somebody's using hot water, goes through the mixing valve, mixes with cold water to get it down to 120 degrees at the tap. And looking at my bill history with all of the heat pump systems that we've had installed over the last few years, our energy bills are definitely lower than when we had a dual fuel home. And so we're continuing to just kind of adjust things and see if we can get our bills down lower, but energy costs are definitely lower for us at this house, even without solar panels, and just being conscientious about how we use our energy. You'll also see all this new insulation was included during our space conditioning upgrade. They insulated this entire crawl space in addition to doing air sealing in the attic and new insulation in the attic as well. So the heat pump water heater comes with the ability to control it using an app from my phone. It's very easy to control, could be anywhere in the house or even away from the house. Can manage the scheduling, set the temperatures, set it in the different modes. Thinking about not using the most electricity during the peak hours between 4 and 9 when the electricity cost is the highest as well. So we've had some more success with setting the tank and running in different modes. So no matter when somebody's taking a hot shower, there's enough hot water to go around. So one other quick and easy thing that we did recently was I basically retrofitted these ceiling lights. It was kind of a mishmash of old CFLs and other lamps. I bought these LED retrofit kits that are really easy. They screw right into the existing base. They fit right into the holes, and then I also put dimmers on everything. So it's a lot, better lighting control and just better lighting, and much more efficient than the light bulbs that were in there before. Welcome to our very recently renovated kitchen. We had an old kitchen with a lot of old appliances and things that weren't to code and plugs in all the wrong places. And we did that for about 10 years and finally decided we were ready for a new kitchen. Of course, we wanted to make it as energy efficient and convenient and usable as possible. So far, been very, very happy with the induction range. It's my first one, and the learning curve has not been very hard at all. I find the control and ease and precision that you can cook with actually makes everything easier. It's the ability to clean it and keep it clean very easily is also a great feature. And I'm also finding that I'm not burning my pots and pans as much because you can just control the heat so much better. These Fireclay tiles, which are the accent tiles, are from a company called Fireclay, which is also a California company, also a B Corp. And what's really amazing about them is that you can actually go in and hand design what these colors and patterns are, and then they'll actually fire them for you. So one cool feature about this Bosch stove is that it has what they call like this flex induction zone here. So there's basically two zones that can be operated separately at different power levels. If you have things going on that need different temperature cooking, but then if you have a large pan like this and you're doing something where you want to have a lot of different items being cooked at the same time, you can basically join them together and then have one sort of large cooking surface. It's great for things like breakfast. We're doing pancakes. We did it this morning. I was able to cook 6 pancakes at a time instead of 3. So that's been kind of a nice feature as well. So out here is just another thing I wanted to share, which is not a big deal, but something I think is pretty accessible. Is we had a gas grill like many other homes do, and a couple of years ago it was time for a new grill, and I got an electric grill. And instead of having to get the propane tanks and having to make sure that the starter lights the flame and everything, now it's just basically plugged in, and when you want to turn it on, you just get the power to it, turn the heat all the way up, let it warm up for 20 minutes, and then you can basically grill anything like you would a normal grill. And then when it's done, simply turn the power off. And so it's nice not having to deal with the tanks of gas and just kind of the fumes of the gas coming off of the grill while you're cooking. So thank you for coming to take a look at our home. We've been really happy with the changes that we've made over the past few years, getting off of natural gas, and in particular, I'm really grateful for the benefits, the health benefits that my family will be getting from removing natural gas and fossil fuels from our home. Not quite done yet. We still have to change out our clothes drying, and when the time comes to redo our roof, which is probably going to be in the next couple of years, that will be the time for us to put on solar panels, and we'll probably look into installing EV charging at the same time. So thank you for visiting.